First of all, good evening, Mr.
Good evening yourself. Are you good?
I'm very well, mate. I'm very, very well. Good weekend?
Not yesterday. Actually, It's made me and you feel better by seeing, I know Man United have won, seeing a team that was as bad as what we were yesterday.
Who was worse, Arsenal or... I know they went through.
I think Arsenal were worse, to be fair.
It wasn't good.
Arsenal were flatter and didn't have any intensity. Same as Manchester United. And we can talk about, obviously, Man United tonight. I didn't see any improvement from the Wolves game. I thought against Wolves they were shocked. The only improvement is obviously they won the game 1-0. Apart from that, Ranić changed his shape, a little bit into like a 4-2-3-1 because the 4-2-2-2 just obviously doesn't work.
No.
Aston Villa actually dominated Man United, apart from maybe the first sort of 15 minutes. Especially in the second half, that 20-25 minute period where we can talk about the VAR, like disallowed goal, Danny Ings' goal. But Man United now getting dominated and bullied by teams going to Old Trafford. Teams actually fancy now going to Old Trafford to play, mate. There's no fear.
They want to go there now, don't they?
Exactly. That fear has gone completely. I actually think in the 7 games under Ralph Rangnick, there has been no improvement at all. And what you said there, Jordan, I agree with you. They've probably gone backwards. They went... they had more progression under Michael Carrick in the 3 games that he had. And he made big decisions, leaving out Fernandes, leaving out Ronaldo. Yeah. So I'm looking at this Man United. I want to hear from Man United fans if they must be in despair at looking, because this is a talented team. And you mentioned Marcus Rashford there. I think he symbolises what Manchester United are at the moment, because there's he's 24, right? So he's not a young player anymore. He's a young man, right? He doesn't look like he's enjoying himself. He looks like he's lost his spark. He looks like he's lost his enthusiasm. Even when Marcus Rashford wasn't playing well before, he would have that desire and that hunger to go and work and close people down and do something off of the ball. I don't see that from any... And the best player under Ranić's tenure so far is 7 games. Over the whole 7 games has been David De Gea.
That's concerning,
the
isn't
goalkeeper.
It? That's really worrying us. It sounds to me there, Perry, like Steven Gerrard is just more frustrated. Obviously, we'll get to the VAR decision in just a minute, but he seems to be frustrated that his team played very well for a large portion of both halves and just couldn't get that goal that I think would have really set that stadium toxic. And I think he felt that if get it at 1-1 and they could have had United, more than on the ropes.
Yeah, they would have. The crowd would have turned, because there's an uneasiness at Manchester United. Because it's not the fortress. I actually thought his assessment was very clinical, unlike his Aston Villa team, because when they dominated large periods, he knows. I saw him at Brentford for talkSPORT last weekend, the weekend before. Again, they dominated the first half and didn't finish off their chances. So as he said, if they'd have got the draw or won on penalties or won the game, the performance would have been excellent. But he said it was a decent performance, but not clinical enough in the final third, where they've got to be ruthless. Obviously, Coutinho's coming in. I thought he seemed quite balanced about the VAR. He didn't want to make that as an excuse. That was the point. He didn't want to use that as an excuse why they didn't win a game.
He didn't. Villa fans, give me a call. Let me know what you made of your performance today and how confident you are on the weekend. But I want to hear from United fans, because for me, as I mentioned, you're going backwards. Let's speak now to Ads, the United fan. Good evening, Ads.
How you doing, guys? You okay?
Hello, lads.
We are very, very well, mate. Are you better now than you were 2 months ago?
No. It was... to be honest with you, I agree with what Perry was saying. We should have kept Michael Carrick, and disappointment again. It just sums up where the club is at the minute. They're just signing managers, players, and they don't even know what they're doing.
Ads, would you take Michael Carrick back if Man United said, right, yeah, we're taking Michael Carrick, Ranić's gone? You'd be happy with that?
Yeah, it's just like I said. It's just they should have kept him, because the whole point was, every time they keep saying we're going to get Pochettino and get this manager and get this manager. If supposedly you're one of the biggest clubs in the world, go out and get who you want. Get him. But the way the things are going, do you really think Pochettino's going to come to us? The way we're performing, I can't even see us getting into Europe, to be honest with you.
You ain't making, with Ranić in charge, you're not making top 4. Absolutely no chance.
No chance.
And
the other thing...
Go on.
With the players... These players call themselves professional footballers, yeah? It's a privilege. So many of us would love to be in their shoes. They're getting paid hundreds of £1,000s a week. It's like you and me now. When we go to work, right, we're there to do our job. And if we don't perform one week, you say, all right, it's an off day. But we constantly keep performing the way we are. Our managers, the managers above us will get us in the office, have a review meeting saying, "Come on, Lord, you know what's going on."
Yeah.
Ads, unfortunately, we're not on 4 or 5 year contracts on hundreds of £1,000s a week where you can't just get rid of anybody.
There is that. We're going to route through as many calls as we can get through. Man United fans, give me a call. Let me know. Just hear from John, the Man United fan. Good evening, John.
Hi, guys.
Hello, John.
Mate. Let me ask you as well. Do you agree with Ads? Are you worse now, and I can't believe I'm saying this, are you worse now than you were 2 months ago?
I think we're no better. Mourinho was there. What I thought about tonight's performance, Villa deserved to win the game tonight. They absolutely deserved it. They created chances. They bypassed our midfield time after time. We kept giving the ball away. Marcus Rashford, let's talk about that guy. If he doesn't want to play or work for the team, get him, sell him, get him out of the club because his attitude stinks. You see when he comes off and when he's on the pitch, his head just doesn't look like there. Alanga came on, they did more in 5 minutes than Rashford did in the whole of the game.
Do you know what, John? He looks like Rashford looks like when he first came into the team, he had that hunger. You know, you see it in somebody's eyes. You have that desire.
Ranić has said there he saw a few pros, as in positives, from United. Is he deluded?
I didn't see that tonight. And let's go on this Henderson situation. Last season, the press were calling for Henderson to be the number one goalkeeper. Let's face it, they had an agenda to get Henderson as the number one goalkeeper. Gea this season has showed he's a number one goalkeeper. So let's forget about Henderson. If he wants to go, get rid of him. He's not going to get a game while De Gea is the best player, which is a bit of a joke because your goalkeeper's virtually the man of the match in the last 6-7 games. So that Henderson situation, let's forget about it. That was a media agenda to get him in that football club last season.
Time to move on.
You can deny that all you want. That was an agenda by the media. All they kept mentioning was Henderson going to be the number one. He should get his chance. Well, De Gea's proved this season he's the best keeper.
Cheers for the call. Cheers for the call, John. Go on, Perry.
I was just listening to Ralph Ranić, and I called him Rambling Ranić after the Wolves game. He said that he thought they were good in possession in the first half.
They're awful. Right.
And say 10 minutes, they're right. And to be fair, it was a quality goal. Fred's free kick and McTominay's header was great. Fred and McTominay were getting overrun in midfield. Now, why didn't he, even if you say to Fernandes, just come back in that centre midfield area and we'll have a 3? Because it was Douglas Luiz and Ramsey were completely dominating in there. Buendia was playing that little sort of 10 position where he was the best player on the pitch, probably for about 65 minutes. So, one, I didn't see, he's not watching the same game as what I'm watching. And two, why don't you change it quicker than what you did? Why did you wait until sort of 10, 15 minutes in the second half when your team was getting overrun? Let
me ask Jarlef, I pronounce that correct, I think, the Man United fan, Jarlef, is that correct?
It is, Jordan. How you doing, both? How you doing, Perry?
Hello, Jarlef.
We are good, mate. You were at the game. First question, are you worse now than you were 2 months ago? And second question, Marcus Rashford, is he a symbol of the decline of Man United over the last 6 or 7 years?
Well, just firstly, I just want to say how on earth that game has been picked for television over the rest of the games, like Kidderminster Harriers versus Reading and stuff like that. That's another issue entirely. But the Magic of the Cup, clearly not alive right now at this moment in time. I think we're Manchester United fans. But answering your question, Jordan, yeah, I think we are. I didn't think that Watford could be worse than being at that game. But Wolves was bad, and this was just as bad. I mean, the only difference is that we had a we had a VAR decision go our way, and we really, I completely agree with the callers that have gone before. Villa should have won the game. They were the better side by far. They created more chances. And Rashford, I mean, I genuinely don't know what has happened to half the squad, Rashford included. Greenwood has not looked himself. Maguire is obviously, everyone's been talking about him and saying we're sure. But the players don't seem to care. And if the players don't seem to care anymore, then I'm sorry, get them out the club. I honestly couldn't care less that 11 players are not happy right now with the side at Manchester United. Okay, I would actually prefer the under-23s to be in. Because they would actually have passion for the shirt. Manchester United fans tonight were very, very good, I must say. And the away support, I will always say, is the best in the league. If you can't motivate yourself to play for one of the biggest clubs in the world, what are you doing as a footballer? If you don't want to be there, then fine. Tell the manager, and the manager needs to have the backbone to do that. And also, just one final point, because I know you've got loads of callers. Whoever comes in the summer, it's going to be on a rebuild like no other before, because they're going to have to clear out at least 15 of this squad if they're going to get anywhere close. I cannot see Manchester United winning a Premier League or a Champions League for the better part of a decade, because that is how long it's going to take to get this rebuild, this fourth rebuild since Fergie left, right.
Jarlef, it might be longer than that, because you're saying about the manager comes in, you have to have a vision and a philosophy of where your club's going. Manchester United, I think, is a bit of an arrogance from the hierarchy at Manchester United, where it's Manchester United, we just go out and buy the best players. Like, they didn't need Jadon Sancho. Because they got Rashford ain't playing very well, but they got Green. They didn't need Ronaldo. That was a vanity signing. He did nothing. They've got loads of pieces in the jigsaw, but nothing fits together.
They don't match up.
None at all.
They don't. Fans there thinking it's going to be a long time before United are anywhere near major silverware. I want to hear from Aston Villa fans also as well. We're going to hear very shortly from Craig the Villa fan regarding VAR. He's not happy at all. Generally over the weekend, there were some decisions that were a little bit questionable. VAR once again in the headlines. Give us a call, 03717 223344. Get your calls in.